Good morning, football fans. Week 1 is officially a wrap. So we're already on to week 2. It's been like 16 hours, 18 hours since week 1 ended. And we're here to give you our week 2 picks. We're going to react to week 1 first. And at the end of the show, we're going to give our rapid fire week 2 picks. My picks did pretty well last week. I went 11-5. That's how the math's out. I fucked it up in the pre-show and I fucked it up on the show somehow. Tony and Joe both had 12 wins. Very happy for you guys beating me. Very happy.
It's 1 week at a time, Mike. I'm going to focus on week 2. I'm going to do my best there. I'm going to try and win this week and every week for the rest of the season. Declare my dominance.
That sounded like a post-game presser right there. You're PR trained or something.
I'm not happy with 12. I went in the locker room and I still need to give my team a pred talk and get more wins next week.
Yeah. I'm still watching the film. There's a couple more games I got to watch to finish up this week, but I feel good.
Yeah, I was watching some of these games back, and some of the games were getting me really hyped about some teams, and some of the games were making me bang my head against the wall about some other teams. So let's first start off the show talking about what shocked us the most about week 1. What was the biggest surprises? You can bring up anything here that surprised you about a player, a team, a coach. I'll let you go first, Joe. What shocked you most? Because your answers to these questions usually are the best, so we might as well start off with a bang.
Like what shocked me the most? I don't know why you would start off with me. I think that what shocked me the most was the Rams defense, the Rams defensive line, and how I don't know if you guys saw this, but Jared Verse had flashbacks of Aaron Donald where they had like multiple people blocking him. Like, woo! Oh, yeah. Like we don't need part 2 of that. We don't need part 2.
Well, here's the thing that's even more interesting than that, Joe, is I don't think Aaron Donald's fully retired.
So you think there's a chance that if the Rams are doing good and there's
a small playoff Aaron Donald chances. He's the type of player you could just plug and play immediately late in the season. He's working out like an animal. I know he is an animal, literally, like he's not human, but I don't know. When I see this guy doing workouts with Jared Verse, and they're doing like 3-hour live streams together, they seem like they're buddies, they're friends, and they never played together.
Yeah, they I think they had a big old challenge sometime this one. But I have one more for you, Mike, because you went to bat for this guy, and you said he was going to be Rookie of the Year, Abdul Carter. I don't know if you saw the play where Laramie Tunsil, the guy they gave up all this for and brought him into Washington. It was on the goal line. I don't know which play, what down it was, but they hiked the ball. Laramie Tunsil just stood there. He didn't even get out of his stance, and Carter came running at Jaden Daniels, but it was like he was like guarding him on a 3-point shot, and he was like this, and he never like went after him. And then Jaden Daniels was just able to throw it out and get out of the way. Did you not see that? You guys not see that play?
I did. Yeah. So when I interpreted that as, hey, I am really dedicated to protecting the edge. I will not let this man run to this. I will not miss this with this tackle. I'm the last line of defense. I can't. I'm over here playing some sort of weird, elementary school hands up defense.
Because Joe, in the same breath, speaking of Joe and speaking of playing the edge, in the same breath, I was not shocked by Joey Bosa's performance against Derrick Henry and Lamar Jackson on the edge. I mean, that was brutal. I just see Joey chasing a different person every play down the field.
Well, what was crazy was in one part, Bosa was like unstoppable. Like there was a series in that game where he was like 3 plays in a row, he was unstoppable. And then when you chase Lamar Jackson or some of these, there's a couple moves by Breece Hall and Justin Fields, like just super athletes this weekend. And they make some of the best athletes on the planet look like children. It is so entertaining to watch these guys move like that. It's a phenomenal thing to say.
It makes you question, like, are they letting them do it sometimes? They're so good. You're like, wait, that guy looked a little too silly on that juke.
Yeah, like there's one where like Breece Hall looks like he's going to be tackled, and then he like teleports to the side 2.5 feet, and the guy just dives at air. And I'm like, that's like a video game glitch. That doesn't.
I want to put all these together for a post where it's like start like Like I think I sent the meme to you guys of that character from Dexter who's the only one that's caught on to him, the only one that realizes that he's a murderer. He's just following him around. Like I want to make a post where it's just like every NFL play where it looks like that, Tony, because there was a few, or the Laramie Tunzel play where it's like, why didn't the guy look like he even tried on that one? Why did he look so bad that he didn't even look like he tried? Oh, speaking of not trying, are the kickers trying? Like, what is going on with the kickers? We already knew about Jake Moody, right? And finally, like, Kyle Shanahan was like, I'm just going to give this one last chance for me not to look like a complete idiot when I cut my third-round pick kicker. And that one last chance almost blew them that game. Younghoe Koo, it just seems like he's either perfect or completely off, like into the stands to the right. And then the Browns kicker, I don't even know his name, completely sold that game too.
I can't think of the Browns kicker's name right now either. Younghoe Koo missed that kick against the Buccaneers. There was a couple extra points that ended up being very valuable, right? Like Tyler Loop's extra point.
Yeah, I was going to say.
A few bonked off the crossbar and in.
But like, here's the other thing I noticed too, was like, there was maybe AI could tell us how many there was week one, but there was a large number of delay of games. Like, and not even just on intentional, like they were just there and just lost track of the clock. And like a lot of them were veteran quarterbacks and coaches weren't ready to call timeouts or didn't want to use them based on time, down and distance, or, you know, what quarter it was, but it was just weird to see it. It's like
still trying to figure everything out.
Well, yeah, you saw it last night in Caleb Williams' first drive, right? He called the timeout early in the game because he looked up at the play clock. So, but this is what I've been talking about. Like, some teams don't play anybody in the preseason, and this is basically preseason week one.
Yeah,
is what we're doing. Like, when are we going to get back to teams playing their guys in the preseason and getting them? Like, we've seen how bad it's been getting, and like another surprise team, Mike, is the Carolina Panthers. How bad did they come out this week? And with a little bit of more expectations, and you're playing the Jacksonville Jaguars, and shit, I don't know if you guys saw it. Khan was in the locker room afterwards, like it was the Super Bowl, like Jacksonville had fucking won the championship. I thought they were gonna hand him a trophy or something. He was like, "This is one of many, and it's gonna continue." Then I was like, "Damn, Jacksonville, they're happy about one win."
I wish they would have showed David Pepper in the other locker room. He's in there throwing drinks on people. He's like, "What are you doing?"
I wasn't shocked by that, honestly. I wasn't shocked by the Panthers getting blown out. Something that did shock me was that Jets-Steelers game was so high scoring. I expected that one to be more of a little bit of a chess match between two good defenses. Are the defenses not as good as they've been in previous years? Or were these quarterbacks just familiar with these guys and just cooked them, and they're going to be back to normal next week?
Okay, so this was the last game I watched right before we did the show, and the thing that stood out for me was the Jets' offensive line they were dominant, especially in the first part of that game. And part of the thing you could see was like, you have to respect Justin Fields so much that I think that helps the offensive line be a little bit better. And they did make some improvements, but they also lost Elijah Vera Tucker right before the start of the game. So I thought that might be an issue, but that was not the case at all. So it's partly like, I think Aaron Rodgers played revenge game. So that's tough for the Jets defense in that. And the Jets were probably playing it with a little anger. So it's tough to play smart on that end of things, because they went for a couple interceptions that ended up being big plays. Like, they were trying to make them look bad and ended up giving up some big plays. I remember one to Calvin Austin. There was another play to blanking on the player's name, but the defenses in this were so uncharacteristically bad. To me, the bigger surprise was how great the offenses were. Like, am I supposed to believe that these are two like MVP candidates at quarterback? Because that's the way they played in week one. And that it was nowhere in my, thought, in my predictions anywhere was these two offenses. I called this game the anti-fantasy game last week.
Yeah, I was thinking the same. I think I had it 17-7 Steelers was my score prediction. I was shocked by it too. And Rodgers was amazing in it. And my take before the game was kind of spot on in a sense that every time you see Rodgers in a functional offense, he plays like that. He can run something that's going well, but when it goes wrong, that's when you start to see the poor leadership qualities. That's when you start to see him start to scramble a little bit, think he knows the answers to everything over the coaches, and it becomes a whole entire mess. So the Steelers being a functional franchise with a great staff, Arthur Smith's been in the league now for a long time, has a lot of experience. If those two can work well together, I think it can work. I am very worried, though. The Steelers, they tried early on in the game. They could not get nothing going on the ground either offensively. So when it became a shootout and it was like, let Rodgers duel, it worked out for them. But if the Steelers defense and the Jets defenses can go back to what they've been after that game, which was kind of weird, and it was just a fluke, I think both these teams are going to be better than I thought at the beginning of the year, right out the gate.
Yeah, I think I texted you guys. I go, imagine if the Steelers had a defense, huh? Imagine with that offense.
It's like opposite. Both the offenses have sucked for so long, and now here we are. And the defenses get cooked.
Hey, but Justin, you gotta get Justin Fields look good. Like
he looks so improved, and he looked comfortable.
And there was times where I was like, the old Justin Fields would have ran when he got out of the pocket, and he stood there and he waited, and I was like, somebody's been working with this guy, and it's good because I like Justin Fields. You guys already know that I was a big Justin Fields guy, and I still like him. So if he could be a top quarterback in this league or at least improve, I'm all for it.
And then there were some plays in there. Shout out to the new Jets staff that really, I think, use his skill set well, where even if he doesn't have the option to pass, they have him make it look like a pass, but it's a designed run, or he has the option to still throw it, or he has the option to hand it off to the running back. They're giving him a lot of stuff that he was good with in college. And I've been wanting to see like a Cam Newton style offense built around Justin Fields before, he runs out of gas. He can't just be that electric forever. But if he can improve as a pocket passer even more and more and more, maybe he can reach the potential, at least closer to the potential that everyone saw for him, and make the Steelers regret letting him go.
Well, one of the things that he said was he said, I know what that defense is going to do. I know who they are. I know what to expect or whatever. What he forgot to do was know and expect what the Jets are. And the Jets just lose games like this for, I don't know, the better part of 50 years, like half a century now.
They were winning this, yeah.
And it felt like they should have won. I kind of would have liked to see him take off on that last play that he decided to throw to Garrett Wilson in that spot. Jalen Ramsey made 2 monster plays at the end of that game. He made a play on Josh Reynolds to break up one on the sidelines. Then obviously the hit on Garrett Wilson was a masterful play there. For me, the marriage, one of the things, the big question I had for the Steelers was, how does the marriage between Arthur Smith and Aaron Rodgers look? And if that's it for week 1, like if they just realize that, hey, our run game isn't going to be our strength, but we're going to let Aaron Rodgers sort of pick and choose when he's going to take a big shot in this game, then we can be just fine. Like do the intermediate stuff with Jonnu Smith and Pat Freiermuth and using the screen game, I thought pretty well in that. And then trying to find ways to get some yak opportunities for DK
DK was good.
It was DK felt like he dropped about 4 or 5 passes, but also like when he does catch the ball, it's like a superhero movie. Like he's just running and he can't be stopped. Everybody's just bouncing off him. It's sensational. Can I give my one like big, like shocking thing this weekend?
Of course.
For the first time ever, a team has scored every possession they've had the ball, and the quarterback of that team was Daniel freaking Jones. Like, that's an insane. When I heard that stat, I was like, this can't be real. Like, the internet is trolling us. Like, there is no way that Daniel Jones, and I just want to say, like, Jones, I'm so happy for you that hopefully this works out, because, like, they could maybe start to get the ball rolling a little bit and put together, like, I had him at 9 wins. It's maybe I was a little low on them. Maybe I was a little low on the Packers. Like,
yeah. Don't get too excited now, Tony. They were playing the Miami Boat Wrecks. Just to remember that who they were playing was literally a boat wreck. And thank you for those that are tuned in live right now. If you guys want to put anything in the chat, we'll bring it on screen and react to it. Jay Walker Blade shouting out to JJ McCarthy here. But yeah, let us know what you guys think was the most shocking moment of the weekend in the chat right now. But yeah, remember who Daniel Jones just played, Tony. The Dolphins are absolutely gutted on the defensive side of the ball, and they've lost their minds. Even though my picks are probably going to shock you, or I'm about to go. But the Dolphins are embarrassed. They were embarrassing.
Tony, I looked it up for you. If you're ready for this, I looked it up for you because you brought it up early in the show. I got you. You asked for something. I got you, Tony.
Thank you.
Delay of game penalties this weekend, week 1. 43 penalties for delay of games in week 1 of the NFL season, which it resulted in 215 yards of penalties. And it says it's the most that it's been in a long time because the NFL is stressing the rule this year.
Okay. It totally makes sense because I think I have like 3 or 4 games left to watch for this week. But I was blown away. I'm like, another one? And a lot of times it was veteran quarterbacks. And I'm like, this just feels like it's not like unproportionate to past seasons. So
how about Juwan Taylor? Juwan Taylor is going to lead the league in penalties for the 3rd straight season. 3 straight years of Juwan Taylor being the king of false starts and holds.
Jonah Jackson last night in that game for the Bears must have had 4 or 5 false start penalties in that game. And you look up at the end of the game, it's like 12 penalties for 157 yards or whatever for the Bears. It's like, guys, this is not a recipe for winning football games.
But you want to know what they're not calling this year? Holding.
Yeah, it did.
There has been multiple times where there's been bad hold, like I'm not talking about like little stuff. I'm talking about like where it's like this, and like they're not calling it, and like you'll call a penalty on somebody for flexing 3 yards away from a guy, but you won't call a holding that's going to impact the game. Like,
well, we want more offense. That's the whole point, Joe. We want more offense. We want these 41 to 40 point insanity games. You saw it in action right away. First Sunday Night Football game. One last thing that shocked me is how much the Packers clicked right away like that. I expected to see some hiccups early on in the game from their offense and defense, honestly. And I know it shocked Joe. Joe, how did you feel Micah Parsons looked in this game with the back injury? I don't know. He didn't look like he had a back injury to me. What back injury?
Well, we all knew it was bullshit going in there. And then this is the funny thing. Micah Parsons celebrating at the end when he made a play when the game was already out of reach. Like, dude, like you were getting – Micah Parsons was getting – I texted you. He was getting one-handed blocked by Penny Sewell. Like, you're nothing. Like, this is easy. And then when the game's out of reach, now you want to show up? Like, all of a sudden? Like –
So
to be fair, Sewell's done that to every single person he's faced for his entire career.
Tony, Micah Parsons wasn't the factor in this game. It was the other defensive lineman which made it easy for them to get rid of Kenny Clark. But don't sit there and say that Micah Parsons is the reason the Packers look good because he wasn't there. It wasn't that.
So one of the things that I thought about putting in the Doom segment, which we're doing next, was talking about the Lions because if we sat down and watched the first like 3 quarters of that game, me and Mike would start having like Joe Lombardi flashbacks, and he would immediately shut the tape off because I saw so many like just routes run to the sticks, and the guys just turning around looking for the ball or running it out, running a comeback, running curls and hitches, and I'm like, oh shit, this is not the same offense. And I just think if you're replacing 3 players in the interior part of the line, there's going to be some issues there, and there's going to be some hiccups. There's so much talent on the lines that I'm not really worried about them. But like watching the Packers, like they were able to have like Devontae Wyatt was good on the interior. Lucas Van Ness, because he's such a big edge defender, when they bumped him inside, he was dominant. So like Micah, though, Joe, that whole shit about holding up the one finger at the end instead of like celebrating with your teammates, like he knew like I'm going to strike a pose. I want to have like an iconic shot when they're putting together the highlight packages of the first sack. Like he knows what he's doing. He's an entertainer. The man gets
IG it. Picture too. IG picture.
Hey Tony, I don't know if you guys have heard this stat, and Mike will like this because he's a Detroit hater, right? So
what?
Jared Goff has had 5 different play callers in his career. Under 3 of those, not named Sean McVay and Ben Johnson, he is 0, 19, and 1.
Can you send me that?
Just let
please send me. Editor Mike, mark this down. 19 minutes. That's a whole freaking million views right there. Thanks, Joe.
Okay, editor Mike, mark this down at 20 minutes. There's a great stat out there about how he plays when he doesn't have Frank Ragnow too. That's when he doesn't have his center. It is brutal, the numbers there. And so it's like, I mean, I had the Lions at 11 wins, still making the playoffs. I still just think Dan Campbell's a great motivator. Too much talent on the Detroit Lions. Like, I think they're going to figure things out. I'm not really worried about them, but I will say, like, watching it, I was like, this is very uninspiring. Like 10 catches for 31 yards to Jahmyr Gibbs. How's that possible?
But then again, watching that game, didn't it feel like Detroit was always in Green Bay's territory? Like,
they had the ball forever.
Like, they were always down there, and I was like, at one point, I was like, okay, they're going to start clicking. They're going to start clicking. They're going to start scoring touchdowns. And they never did. And St. Brown, like, he had a horrible – if you had him in fantasy, that was a horrible game. If you had any Brown in fantasy, it was horrible this weekend. But, but, I mean, at some point, the offense needs to start clicking, and we'll see how it goes.
Cleveland Browns, too. All the Cleveland Browns also. Nothing from them.
Yeah, But in that game, in that Detroit Lion game, like to me, I was like, damn, they're down there in the zone again. Here we go. And they weren't scoring the touchdowns that would give it to Green Bay. But I mean, it's week 1. Teams are getting there. So I mean, we could sit here and be happy about this and be joyful and be like, oh, this team is doomed in there, but we're still getting our grooves back. We're still getting the group back. So I want to see how Detroit bounces back, especially next week against their former offensive coordinator.
That's going to be such a fun game.
Yeah, it's going to be a really fun game. And it's a tough trip for them, too, going to Lambeau. So I think I just discounted the Packers a little bit too much. I think I did. And I had the Lions winning the game, by the way, Joe, for all my Detroit Lions hate that I had. This is one of my losses. Just pointing it out there. All right, let's go to the next segment here. Which teams from just week 1, obviously, everyone overreacts. It's Overreaction Tuesday. Seem doomed, and which teams seem destined for greatness this year? I'll start off with a team that seems doomed. Not because they look bad. I think that they looked good. Their offense wasn't particularly great, but the 49ers are already dealing with injuries that plagued their whole season pretty much, and they're in week 2. So there's going to be more injuries. It's just math, and it's football. There's going to be more problems. They just cut their kicker after 1 week. Things are not going great for San Francisco, even though they pulled off that win against the Seahawks. I wouldn't even get too excited about that win over the Seahawks. You're playing the Seahawks when they're trying to figure everything out offensively. I expected it to be like this. If Fred Warner's healthy and playing in the game, he's playing against a quarterback in a new offense like that, I'm going to bet on the Niners defense. He's that much of a game wrecker, and he was all over the football field, but he can't save them offensively. And Christian McCaffrey can't carry them either, clearly, completely. He didn't just go full beast mode in this game. It was a good game for him. I think the 49ers are doomed already.
Yeah, this is one of the games I need to go back and watch closer, because when I was just watching it with all the other games that I had going on, the Cooper Kupp, I forgot he was even on the team until like he made a catch at some point in the game, and I was like, "Oh shit, yeah, he's there." Like,
he doesn't look right either.
Yeah, I was in my head. I'm like, "Wait, how is that working?" And so I want to go back and watch that a little bit closer. But Mike, you're right. I think Trent was in the medical tent a few times, which is you can't lose your left tackle. You can't lose. I mean, we're dealing with Brock Purdy here. Juwan Jennings goes out. They lose. Who else? Who else did they lose? Purdy got banged up. I saw the injury report that Purdy's like dealing with a couple of things, and like whether or not he can play in week 2 might be in jeopardy already. It's like,
yeah,
I mean, that's insane. Kittle went on IR this morning. He's out at least 4 weeks, and they gave Christian McCaffrey like 50 touches in the game. Like, you just can't continue to run him into the ground. And then you wonder, like, the 49ers, you guys had Jordan Mason and you let him go. Like, he should be your backup. You should have sort of a two-headed monster where it's like McCaffrey is going to be scripted to touch the ball 22 to 25 times a game at max in the pass and run game. And instead, I don't even know I think he had 30 carries? How many carries did he have in the game? I don't know the number.
I don't think he had 30 carries, but he had 30 touches. And it doesn't really make sense coming into the game with a calf injury. And George Kittle looked phenomenal too. That's the part that sucks. He looked like he's in his prime. He's so good. He's such a great player. He's such a fun player. I just wish this guy could stay healthy. There's actually a little tidbit, and this worries me. I know it's just a hamstring injury, but he considered retiring this offseason, apparently.
Oh, I didn't hear that.
Behind the scenes. So
no, he was joking.
Oh, he was joking.
He was joking about that because at one point, I don't know if they still did, but remember the NFL banned the smelling salts?
Oh, yeah.
So he was like, once I heard that news, I almost retired because he's a big smelling salt guy.
Well, that's not even what I saw. I saw that he got an offer from the WWE already as a player. They're basically trying to have him come and do that instead. That's going to, it's kind of crazy to think that you get less injured slamming yourself against the ground, but you literally get less injured slamming yourself against the ground than in football.
Well, I have one for you.
Go ahead. No, go ahead.
To help you out, Mike, to help you with your Niners stuff, right? Like you said, you have the Niners are having a hard time, right? You saw what they did, the injuries. If the injuries continue to pile up on the Niners, it's not going to get easy because the Niners play 4 games in the next 23 days. That's why they basically put Kittle on there because their week 5 is on Thursday night. So when he comes back, but 4 games in 23 days is a lot, especially if you have no wide receivers. Like they just signed Kendrick Bourne, right? So this week, so he'll be in there, but that's no rest for an injured team to start the season off.
Yeah, it's a tough start for them. Let us know in the chat what you guys think about the Niners, whether they're doomed already or not.
Here's the good news. You get the Saints this week.
That's what I was about to ask. Would you take Mac Jones to win this game? Because I would. I'm taking the Niners defense to win this game if the Niners offense punts every play.
I will, because the one thing that I had last week for the 49ers when we talked in sort of our preview show was, do we see a difference from Robert Saleh? And I think the answer was yes. The defense just looked different. It looked like it was back. The freedom that they allow Fred Warner to play with there and just be able to go out there and be a game wrecker. There's a difference.
Can I say one thing? We're up with the Saints uniforms this weekend.
I don't know.
I held back. Like those were the ugliest uniforms that you could put out. It looked like any given Sunday. Yeah. Remember that championship team in there? Like the guy got his eyeball ripped out. Like that's what it looked like. Anybody who walked in, who was in the house with me, and they walked by and they saw the Saints jerseys, they were like, "What is that?" I go, "Is that green? Is that yellow? What is that?" I go, "That's trash. That's like shit. Like if you have massive diarrhea and you look down,
relax. We have some Saints fans. Who that? I will say Alvin Kamara could pull off any uniform. I did think the uniforms were ugly at first too. And I see Alvin Kamara running in. I was like, wait, do I like these? I think I might actually kind of like them with Alvin Kamara in it.
That's not fair. That's like when you have that friend that can wear yellow and you're like, oh man, I want to wear yellow. And then you put it on, you look like
I'm the guy that can wear yellow.
Okay. Let's go on to the next segment here. No need to track
another team after seeing that, and I'll give the
Mike.
He blocked himself. He's like, you know what? Another team. And he's pulling that old move, Tony. Like
another team that I think is doomed from what I saw. Sorry, I'm having some issues here with my microphone. As always, it's becoming a reoccurring theme.
At least Joe's camera isn't doing this week.
Yeah, he fixed that at least. So we fixed some of our technical difficulties and we created some more. The Patriots.
I didn't do anything to it, so yes.
What the hell was that from the Patriots offense? I don't understand what they were even doing in the game. You got to give the Raiders defense some credit, but I think it's pathetic when you look at the stat lines for this game and you're like, wait, so Trevion Henderson was doing all right. Every time he gets the ball is the only time they move the ball, and he had 5 carries to finish the game.
What are we? You can talk about both offenses in that game. Like both
that's what
teams,
I'm saying. Like the
both
Patriots
teams drafted a rookie running back, and they both didn't feed him. Like it was kind of like, what are you doing here?
The Patriots defense played pretty well considering they were down their cornerback 1. They gave up a few big plays in the passing game. That was kind of expected, but overall, it was solid.
They gave up 9 plays of over 20 yards.
Yeah,
a bunch of big plays in the passing game, but overall they were solid, and they gave the offense a chance to win this game 21-20 at least.
It was really bad. Like I don't know how. Here's the thing: we always do this thing where like Josh McDaniels, he's a pretty good offensive coordinator. It's like he's only ever really been a good offensive coordinator with Tom Brady. So when you take that out, it's like, hey, you know what? It's like I make a really great lasagna when I make it with Chef Ramsay. You know, like when I make that lasagna by myself, it's worse than a Stouffer's TV dinner or whatever it's called. It's like, yeah, there's a big difference there. So like, I do want to see this. I'm not saying I'm out on Drake May, but there were just some plays in this game where I was like, this is not good, guys. Like, this is not what everybody was. All the camp reports I read was how good and how efficient and how smart he was and how comfortable he looked. And I was like, this is nothing like what I read.
Well,
but there was some throws that he made that were like
exactly.
great
That's what I was about
accuracy,
to
and
say.
like, what the hell?
You see the arm talent flash, but this is kind of the similar thing that I have worries for with Bo Nix. It's like, yeah, when things are perfect and the pocket's perfect, delivers a perfect pass. Okay, that happens like 1 out of every 4 plays, guys, where the pocket's perfect, everything's perfect on a play. You got to be able to make things happen in panic mode.
Yeah,
and this is one of the hardest offenses to learn, right? Josh McDaniels, that was always been one of the things
That's why
on
I was
him.
shocked they didn't just feed the running backs. They have 10 of them. Like, what's going on here? It's from. There we go. We'll move around a little bit. It's better just to leave the screen blank. But anyways, a team that. Well, let's talk about the Raiders side of things for you, Joe. I want to know what you thought about the Raiders game since we're here and we're talking about the Raiders right now. And I want to know what you thought about Ashton Genty's performance in this game.
Well, I mean, the Ashton Genty himself, I don't think did that bad. I think he needs to relax a little bit and wait for some of the holes to open up. And that comes with the rookie running back. I thought he did very good on pass protection. Like if you watch some of the blitzes, he picked it up. Like that's one thing that you hardly ever see from a rookie running back, right? Is the pass protection. And sometimes teams even take rookies out on pass plays. He picked it up. I think he played 84% of the snaps on offense, which is very good. He averaged 2 yards. But here's the thing about Genty. I think he finished with 38 yards, but 44 yards after contact. Like he had more yards after contact. The interior offensive line hurt Genty on there. I think he had 6 carries on the final drive of the game, which hurt his stats even more. He had, and when the Patriots knew they were running the ball, so it was nothing. They were going to stack the ball. But like I've told Raider fans, and this is exactly what happened. Until the Raiders can get people to fear their wide receivers and show you that Jacoby Myers, Brock Bowers, Geno Smith, Dante Thornton can beat you, there's no reason they won't stack the box against Ashton Genty. And that's what they're doing. They're going to blitz. They're going to blitz Geno Smith. And that's what the Patriots did. They blitzed so much, and Geno Smith was able to just tear them apart. It was a good game. So if they can continue what they did this week against the Patriots and continue going, then teams are going to have to start respecting Geno Smith and start respecting the pass and move back a little bit. And then Genty should be able to get going.
That's why I'm interested.
That's my thoughts.
I think there's going to be like a good battle in the middle of the football field between the Chargers and the Raiders because the Raiders need to establish the run game. The Chargers' strength now has become defending the run. I mean, that's just going to be two things that are going to collide on Monday Night Football, probably with the game on the line. And I'm glad that Tony's back so we could wait, I want to know from you guys, is there any teams that seemed absolutely doomed that we didn't talk about yet? By the way, also put them in the chat. Teams you guys think might be doomed. I think everyone for tuning in also help us out with a like on the stream.
Say that the Falcons, it just feels unfortunate. Like in that, it looks like they're going to win that game. Big division game. They're at home. Drake London is out there. Kyle Pitts looks like he's back. They lose the lead on a great throw by Baker Mayfield to Emeka Egbuka, which that looked sensational in week 1. But like you get there, Michael Penix looks like the real deal. He makes the drive, and then Younghoe Koo misses a 46-yarder. This guy was hitting game winners for them last year. I was like, dude, the Falcons are going to get this game into overtime. And I was like, the Falcons are going to win this game, and I'm probably low on them. And then sure enough, the ball looked like it was like pushed away by like CGI. It looked fake. It was like this is crazy. Like the Falcons, to me, when I watched it, I was like, the Falcons deserve to win this game. They should win this game. And then they lost. And it's kind of what they've done for a while now. And you like to see those things start bouncing, the ball to start bouncing the other way for them because they have a fun team. But now I didn't check if Drake London's out for a little bit. I mean, you're already down Darnell Mooney. It's like, who do you have out there? Kyle Pitts and Ray McLeod? Like, somebody's got to step up. James Pierce also looked really good on a couple of plays too. Like,
I was gonna say the Falcons defense impressed me a lot. They had a very inspired performance. Daywalker Blade saying thank you for tuning in and getting in the chat. Saying the Patriots might only win 6 games. This would be brutal, man. They traded Bill Belichick for Drake May and it didn't go well for either side. UNC and
I didn't even think about that.
Are both absolutely screwed. All right, got the team.
Well, and Miami Dolphins, right?
Yeah,
we agree on that. We agree. Miami's the worst team.
I didn't even write them down because it's
it's so sad. It's kind of crazy though because I still think that they could be a team that just come out and just go for 500 offensive yards out of nowhere just because Tua just starts throwing it up to people. But
I am gonna pick them to win the game. On Sunday.
Dude, that's what I was about to say. So,
yeah.
Before we get to our picks, which we are going to give our picks in rapid fire at the end here, starting with the Packers Washington game, which is an absolutely phenomenal Thursday night game for us football fans to enjoy. Let's move on to the last topic here. Teams that we think might be destined after what we saw, and it's good that we're bringing up the Commanders in Thursday Night Football because that's a team that I wrote down. I think that the Commanders weren't the best team of the weekend. They weren't the most impressive team of the weekend, but their defense showed that they, one, are willing to bully a team that they should bully, and they just picked on the Giants throughout that game. They showed that they could be an improved defense, and then I think the offense has levels it can reach now with Debo in the mix. Austin Eckler seemed healthy. Bill looks phenomenal. He looks like he could be their franchise back of the future. Zach Ertz is getting involved still in the pass game at this age. I think the Commanders can reach levels this year, and this was a great floor for them to start at, and they could be destined for greatness in the NFC possibly. But Tony, anything about the Commanders, or is there a team that you saw that you're like, ooh, this is looking way better than I thought, or it's exactly as I thought, it just went really well?
Two teams that jump out to me was the Bills, right? It was like that's one of those comebacks where it's like, to me, I was like, they had no business winning that game, right? It's just one player making sensational plays, and it's like when you watch the NBA and a guy's like really hot and he's just shooting like Steph Curry, and then he shoots one that doesn't quite hit the net and it bounces and goes in. That touchdown pass or that play that he had to Keon Coleman, where it's like tipped and then his guy's just right there. It's like he's like,
that seems destiny.
He's like, I can't miss. I cannot miss right now because I'm on fire in the fourth quarter. And for them to come back, the other team is we just had a Vikings fan jump in here. What's the Vikings? Like, I just think this team has a lot going on, and Michigan, go blue. When I saw JJ McCarthy in the first few quarters, I got a text message from one of my friends, lives in Chicago, and he reaches out to me and he goes, what is all this nonsense I heard about, like JJ McCarthy, this, that, whatever, like this is going terrible. And I'm like, come on, there's a lot of football left. It's his first game in 2 years. It'll be fine. It's like this, what you're doing right now is just overreacting like everybody else. And an hour later, the Vikings took a lead on him rushing in a touchdown. And I was just like, okay, I think they have something. And just the scene in the locker room, I love the coaching staff there. And if JJ McCarthy can be the guy that helps kind of get Kevin O'Connell a couple of playoff wins, maybe it's NFC Championship game for the Vikings potential. I just think they have such a loaded team. They're going to get back Jordan Addison too. Like Adam Thielen's going to be a usable piece throughout here. Jalen Naylor, Hawkinson, 2 running backs that I really like. It's a great team.
Yeah, and then defensively, they made Caleb Williams look like it was his first game of his career. I mean, he looked lost out there. He looked like Sam Darnold seeing ghosts on the football field out there. Yeah, that's the team that I wrote down as the second team I was going to bring up, Tony, if one of you guys stole the Commanders, but I jumped on it right away. It just feels like that team can improve from here to another level. That would be, they're already playoff caliber as of right now. Joe, any teams to you that stuck out?
I think you got to give respect, and we talked about it, as to the Tennessee Titans to hang with the Denver Broncos and do that. But I mean, but we talked about and I think in our preview of this year that we said that the Titans were going to be better than people expected. I don't know if that was the Titans being good or Bo Nix being blow Nix. I don't know, but
Bo Nix definitely didn't look great.
He did not.
But with the way the Texans looked this weekend, Jacksonville looked good, right? But they played the Carolina Panthers and the Colts. Like that division is going to be up for grabs. So the Titans could make a noise for them, and people weren't expecting that.
Yeah, the Texans have a tough draw this week as well. So we'll see how that goes for them. They're playing the Buccaneers. It could be 0-2 for the Texans and 2-0 for the Jaguars if they can beat the Bengals. And I'm just sitting here like, this is not how I expected this to go already. And we're in week 2 of this thing. But for the Titans, yeah, that was tough because it feels like Cam Ward, he had some rookie moments where he took some dumb sacks. He had some rookie moments where he had a dumb intentional grounding that really cost him points twice, at least 3 points. So there's 6 points off the board right there. And then, you know, when it was together and he was making things happen, his arm talent was flashing. He was making good throws, receivers dropping passes. So the Titans could be better than we think, I think. And I think that Cam Ward is a way million times better quarterback, night and day difference from Will Levis last year. So the Titans are kind of a wild card to me.
Yeah, there was some flashes from Ayumanor. And I think once he gets a little more experience and gets comfortable, he can really grow and become a solid, sort of wide receiver 1-2 type player for them. Calvin Ridley kind of had a rough day from what I saw. Like, just maybe the balls weren't thrown, maybe the timing wasn't quite right, but Cam Ward looks the part. I feel, if I'm a Titans fan, I feel optimistic right now.
That one, yeah, I would too. That one late in the game, I'll give Ridley some slack. He's wide open in the middle of the field for like a game on the line type of first down, and Ward threw it literally almost as hard as he fucking could. Like, just put some touch on it there, rookie, so it's easy for your drop-C wide receiver who's known for dropping passes. Calvin Ridley is not the most sure-handed receiver of all time.
Agreed. I will just say this, like, Titans fans are giving all this praise. I do hope that you guys trade Jeffrey Simmons to the Chargers. Like,
oh my God,
he is one of my favorite players.
That one body slam he didn't need to do, but
when that guy is locked in, he looks like the Incredible Hulk out there with all those braces and armor on him, and then he just moves human beings in a way that's fun to watch, and Chargers could use that in the middle of the defense. So
we have a section here. If you guys want to put some fantasy football questions in the chat, we'll do some quick fantasy football talk if there is something in the chat. If not, it's okay. We're just going to move on to our picks from there. But before we move on to our picks, we got to talk about the Chargers first. And we're talking about destined teams and teams that look destined for greatness. They beat the back-to-back AFC champion Chiefs to open up the season. So the Chargers look good, Joe. You got to admit it, right?
The Chargers, I mean, they played the Chiefs. Like, are we supposed to be like excited about that? Like, are they supposed to, they beat the broken down Chiefs? Like,
oh, the broken down, the Brokeback Mountain version of the Chiefs.
Yeah, like, you couldn't beat the Chiefs when they were on top of the world, but now you beat them, and now it's like, oh, we're the greatest. But the Chiefs are on the downhill, and you're like, oh. This is like beating this is like Jake Paul when he goes and fights all the fucking old people now and be like, look at me, or is it Jake Paul? Yeah, Jake Paul, right? He's beating all these old timers. Like, I beat Mike Tyson. Yeah, you beat Mike Tyson when he's done, past his prime. That's what the Chargers did this weekend. They beat a team that's past their prime.
Yeah.
Your hate for the Chargers is more than the Chiefs at this point, or do you just realize now, Joe, that there's already a changing of the guard from seeing this one game? The Chiefs, last 2 games, they've lost 2 games in a row after I think like 15 straight wins, and you're ready to just be like, you know what? This is not the same team, man. The Chiefs suck, and the Chargers don't deserve any credit for that.
Yeah, the Chiefs beat themselves. I mean, look, they ran into each other, broke each other's shoulders. They were yelling at each other on the field. Like, it was.
I think the Chargers
just the Chiefs falling apart in front of our own eyes as they get older.
And we've seen this over the years with like the Lions. We've seen this with like the Ravens and the Chargers last year. I think that they're just going to go in and they're just going to wear down on teams. And they didn't do it in the way I expected through Hampton and through the running backs. And we had our guard shitting himself on the field, literally. So maybe that had something to do with a little bit of a shift in the game plan last second. But they did it in a different way where it still was just a beatdown, like just over and over and over again, just chipping at him. Boom, 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 12 yards, 7 yards, 15 yards. They couldn't do anything about it. And when you watch Mahomes in the presser, it's not like the previous games where Mahomes is like talking about the pass rush, talking about this. He's straight up saying like, this team had more energy than our team. This team was more excited than our team, an Andy Reid led team. I don't know. I feel really good about it as an unbiased Chargers fan.
As an unbiased one, it was. This is obviously the Chargers, the one where I actually sit down and watch the film from it, and you could see the Chargers were just the more physical team, and that was the difference. And I think that's a huge difference when you see an Andy Reid style teams are usually the teams that are more physical. One of the things I did notice was that maybe they missed Justin Reed a little bit, like having that player that's kind of in the back, getting people organized, keeping people in the right places and stuff like that. So it'll be interesting to see if more teams try to pass and take advantage of, because that's the weakness going to be. Like if you had to pick something out for the Chiefs, like, do I think the Chiefs are going anywhere? No. Do I still think they can win the division? Yeah. Like it's the Chiefs. They're going to be fine. The one thing because I don't want to, like, I'm not here to gas up or be overexcited about the Chargers. I'm very happy about the week 1. I know that's what you want from me. I know that's what you want, but I never feel comfortable doing that. One thing I don't want to happen is for like the Jets to be like 0-5 somehow, and they trade Breece Hall to the Chiefs. Like that is because the one problem I saw for them offensively was like, didn't really seem like the run game affected what they did defensively. So then you were able to just really take away any sort of deep shots. And then once Worthy was out, it was a big advantage Chargers. And then Chargers just did the smart, right things. And Herbert played out of his mind, and Quentin Johnson caught the football. And
what it all the Raiders fans out there that just watched Ashton Genty go for 2 yards per carry. Good luck. The Chargers gave up 30 yards rushing to the entire Chiefs running back room combined. And, the Chiefs are pretty good at running the ball.
On the screen.
Oh, because they keep asking me to go on this show, and I will, Ray, you can screen record this and send this to any AFC West show out there. I'll quote the great Canelo, who's fighting here in a couple days. Pay me money. But anyways, the Chiefs, they didn't look like the broken down Chiefs. I know they weren't the same without Xavier Worthy on the field. They were still hitting their shots down the field. Hollywood Brown was still a very hard cover when Mahomes started scrambling around the field. They still looked like a good team. I'm not extremely confident in the Eagles in Arrowhead by any means.
Well, when Tyreek Hill's on the Chiefs in a couple of weeks,
that's what I'm also worried about. Is I was reading Tyreek Hill's lips, and I saw him saying to trade him to the Chiefs to his coaches on the sideline.
Yeah, which I do think
I made that up.
I do think I don't know if that's a real thing. I like it. You should run with it. It's the internet. They'll click you and they'll find some lip reader. If I'm the Dolphins, I'm getting him out of my building. Right? Like I move on, have Malik Washington. Like at the very minimum, what could you do is like just have better vibes if you're the Dolphins. And that will be a big piece. And he makes a lot of sense in Kansas City. I'm not as worried about having Tyreek Hill there at this point in his career as I would be of having Breece Hall, who looks fully back and healthy and looks sensational. I don't want them to get their hands on a player like that. And I think they just need more juice at the running back position. That's all. Maybe that's Brashad Smith. I don't know. Maybe like that rookie catches on and that's the piece they need, but I hope not.
Yeah, let's just hope not. Let's just hope they continue to struggle.
I hope they're 9-8
inside
and miss the playoffs. So they get like a draft pick in the late teens, but they don't make the playoffs. That's the hope.
Yeah, right in the middle. That's the perfect spot for them. So they can't get the next phenom wide receiver. All right, let's move on to our picks. Everyone's been waiting for. Let us know in the chat who you guys got for every game as we go along. We're going to start with Thursday Night Football, and this is a great Thursday Night Football game for us to enjoy. I'm very excited for this Packers versus Washington game. Like I was saying, very hyped about the Washington Commanders. Their week 1 performance, I feel like could have even been better, and I think that they will get better. I think that the Packers defense, it clicked and it looked better than I thought it would, but like you're saying, Joe, the Lions did move the ball on them. They just weren't able to convert. Jaden Daniels, Deebo Samuel, Bill, Terry McLaurin, Zach Ertz. I mean, the Commanders are absolutely loaded. I think once Jaden Daniels hits midseason form. He's going to hit like an MVP form. I think we see it on the road in Lambeau on a short week. I got the Commanders winning, which means I got them covering because the Packers are 3.5-point favorites as of right now. But I'll pass it to you, Tony. Who you got in this one?
I'm going to take Green Bay's at home, right? So
Green Bay's the home favorites.
Yeah, I'm going to take Green Bay at home. So my big question is, like, did the Commanders' defense really improve, or was that just Russell Wilson, like, finally being like, I'm cashed? Like, and that's fine. He's had a great career, but, like, I'm trying to, when you try to evaluate what you're seeing on the Washington side, it's like, is the defense really that good, or what I see there? I just think between Josh Jacobs and then Jordan Love and all those wide receivers, that be a fun way to kick off week 2, but I'll take Green Bay at home.
Joe?
Yeah, I'm taking the Green Bay Packers too. I don't want to, like, if this was on a Sunday game, I would take the Washington Commanders. They had a week, but Thursday night, traveling, short week, getting up there. You just had a tough game against a division opponent with the Green Bay Packers off defense, or with the Giants defensive line. Now you're going to deal with another defensive line. That's pretty good on a short week. I don't want to do it, but I'm taking the Packers. Packers go 2-0.
I think it will be an excellent game to watch. By the way, that's perfect that you guys picked differently in the first game because I didn't tell them, but I'm down by 1 game. I'll put the records on the screen next week. Tony's 12-4, Joe's 12-4. I'm 11-5 after 1 week, and I just tied them right there. Go Commanders! Come on, Jaden Daniels. Oh, sorry. I should probably.
Somebody's taking a push, a tie, and then somebody's taking the Redskins. Or when are we? Can we say Redskins anymore?
You can.
You can say it.
You can say it. If you're referencing it, yeah. It just depends on the context. Anyways, Giants on the road in Dallas, and the odds makers are giving them almost no chance. The Cowboys need to cover by 6 points. I think the Cowboys do. I saw a clip already of CeeDee Lamb up at like 5 a.m. just catching passes on the jugs machine. You see this guy when guys like CeeDee Lamb, and we're going to see it with Jamar Chase, I think, too, this week. When they have a bad game, they come up the next week, and they basically just say, throw me the ball. No one's going to stop me. I think we get that out of CeeDee in this game, and the Cowboys cover and beat the Giants. But, Tony, what do you think?
So I think that's their game plan for the whole year, whether he catches the ball or doesn't. Like, that's it. That's like the game plan is he's going to have 200+ targets this year. I do like Jake Ferguson for anybody who's in fantasy. I think there was, if you're hurting a tight end, I think there's opportunities for him out there. I'm going to take the Cowboys at home. I just think by the second half, it's going to be an opportunity for, the shouts for Jackson Dart get really loud by halftime, especially if you're anywhere on the internet.
And it's hard not to shout for Jackson Dart. It's hard not to shout for Jackson Dart. The preseason memories are like only 2 weeks old. What are we doing? Brian Dayball, what are we doing, dude? Go ahead, Joe.
And the one thing that's different about CeeDee Lamb this week, and besides him going to go try to catch some balls, is he won't have a Dory Jackson on him this week. So it might be a little tougher, right? Because Dory Jackson couldn't stick him worth shit. And so I'm going with the New York Giants this week over the Dallas Cowboys. I'm thinking, look, yeah, I understand if Miles Sanders didn't fumble that ball, maybe Cowboys would have won that game. But the Giants are just going to pin their ears back and they're going to come at Dak because nobody's afraid of that running game in Dallas. And that defensive line should be able to eat all week.
That could wreck things. It definitely could because Dak kind of struggles under pressure.
Put it on the board, 2-0.
I want to say also on top of that the Cowboys O-line looked pretty solid. So I believe in them. Let's go Cowboys. Get us another one.
But they didn't have Jalen Carter. They didn't have to face Jalen Carter.
I guess Dexter Lawrence. Maybe Dexter Lawrence is going to be it.
I don't think I think Dexter Lawrence might be the better down player. Like, I just think he's a great player.
Yeah.
Do it, Tony. I should have brought it.
I should have brought out the sexy Dexy dance. Should have had it ready to go. Let's go to the next one here on the list. I have the Pittsburgh Steelers are hosting the Seattle Seahawks. They're 3-point favorites. I think this is a great chance for the Steelers defense to get right. Get after Sam Darnold, who's trying to figure out the Seattle offense still after not a great performance against San Francisco. San Francisco put some good defensive tape against the Seattle offense. And then on top of it, this is not in Seattle, which, by the way, sold out the San Francisco 49ers fans this weekend. The Chargers aren't the only ones. But I think there's a good chance for the Pittsburgh defense and for Sam Darnold to be seeing some Ramsey ghosts coming out of nowhere and picking off a pass. So I'm going with the Steelers to cover over 3 points. But, Tony, I'll let you go.
Oh, this is a tough flight for them, and it is really hard for me to admit that my NFC West champion is going to go 0-2. Like, I just think flying that far, there's just still something they got to figure out about the pass game. But if I'm having to pick here on a Tuesday without seeing any sort of injury reports, I will go with I'll go with the Steelers at home.
You can change your picks, by the way, but you got to send them in to the commissioner of the Pickems League, me.
Okay. All right.
So you got to be like, hey, Mike, I'm changing my pick. You know what I mean? Or just keep it, like you said, keep up with it on like Joe did on ESPN, where it's like his picks were official on there.
Yeah, I have it in an app. I've been doing it every year that way for 15 years.
I'm taking the Pittsburgh Steelers this week as well. I was going back and forth. I almost went with Seattle, and I was like this close, but I can't do it. Once I remember, like, it's travel across, and I don't like taking. I really hate taking West Coast teams going to the East Coast and playing early. So that was like the main factor. If they're like, I think it's going to be an even game, or they were even, I would do it. But if the game was in Seattle, I probably would have gone the other way.
Yep.
Yeah.
Better days ahead for the Seahawks.
Well, hopefully. Speaking of NFC West, the Rams going to Tennessee to play the Titans. We were talking about how the Titans are very sloppy, and if they clean some of that stuff up, maybe they could have beaten the Broncos last week. If they clean everything up, maybe they can cover against the Rams this week. But I just think that maybe that the Rams offense can get going here. I think you got some good matchups with your receivers out wide, and Kyron Williams can get some things going in the run game. We saw RJ Harvey and J.K. Dobbins have some success against the Titans defense. So I'm going with the Rams to cover in Tennessee on the road. They need to make up 6 points on the Titans. But Tony, your choice.
Picked against the Rams last week. And as I mean, just watching that front, it doesn't get any easier. You go from Denver to this one. I actually think that it might be more physical and just as fast. So I'll go with the Rams defensive line to, terrorize the offense. One more week for
the Titans pass pro. The Titans pass pro was all scramble, no block.
Yeah.
Any chance for the Titans here, or you think this is blowout city?
I'm going with the Ramley, right? Is that the stupidest thing they've ever said? The Ramley. But I'll go with them this week. Yeah, Titans are better, but it's just another tough week and a tough matchup for the rookie quarterback.
Things lighten up on the Titans schedule after this one. So Titans fans, hold on. Maybe there's better days for the Titans and the Seahawks. Next one, which is an interesting one. I think this could be another really good game, like we saw last week out of the Jets, Steelers, and the Bills, Ravens. We have the Bills on the road in New York against the Jets. The Jets are getting 6.5 points here. They're saying that the Jets are super underdogs in this game after what we just saw from Justin Fields. And then just the typical Jets defense steps up versus Josh Allen. It's like they got something on him. They got some blackmail or something on Josh Allen that they're using against him. Because every time he goes to play the Jets, he looks like rookie Josh Allen all of a sudden again. 6.5 points. I'm going to say the Bills win by 4. I'm going to have the Jets covering and pick the Jets to cover the 6.5 points with the Bills still as my pick for the win. That's the most hedging you could possibly get. But go ahead.
It does kind of make sense what you're doing there. I think the Jets played over their heads last week offensively, and I think that the Bills maybe tighten some things up here. I'm gonna take the Bills to cover and to win the game.
That Bills secondary is scary too, Tony. Like I'm just gonna not look at it all season and pretend that it's not there, but that could be their sinking ship right there.
It could, but hopefully they get back. Trey White can give them something, and then Maxwell Harrison gets back, and he gets more acclimated. And they do have some pieces eventually coming back that I think could be helpful. But I just think if McDermott makes it simpler for them, they'll have more success that way. And
they won't play Derrick Henry.
I don't know. Like, I just watched the Jets and they played so much better than I thought that they could, that I was like, I don't know what I was watching, to be honest. Like, I'm like, can this be repeatable week after week?
What I'm saying about Justin Fields is that it seems like Justin Fields might be leading a little bit of a Jets renaissance here, but I don't want to get high on the Jets and then have my whole life ruined again this year.
Justin Fields is not Lamar Jackson, okay? He's not going to be able to torch this Buffalo Bills defense like we just saw. Justin Fields will come back down. It's going to be a blowout by the Buffalo Bills. Vegas don't lie. 6.5. Go ahead and stamp that and take it.
I don't think they're necessarily going to try and torch him down the field. They're going to run him over again. They're going to try and run him over again. We'll see. I think it's really the matchup's on the other side. If the Jets can't do anything about Josh Allen and that offense, it's GG's anyways. But if they can slow down Josh Allen, that's how they stick in it. So you guys are both going Bills by more than 7 points, to 6.5 points.
Yeah.
Okay.
I am.
We got a lot of differences this week, which I'm glad.
I am.
Patriots on the road in Miami. The Miami Dolphins. After that, are favorites to win this game by a point.
What?
That's just an indictment on what people thought of the Patriots. That's basically Vegas just saying, like, nobody has any faith. For me, I'm basically giving them the edge. One, the Patriots have kind of always struggled down there, even during the Belichick era when they played games in September like this. So I'm going to say that the weather is like the deciding factor, just having that. And then also, like, the Dolphins can't be that bad 2 weeks in a row. Like, I just don't see it. And there is something to say, like, the Colts do have talent on defense. Like, there's Latu and DeForest Buckner. Like, there's good players on the Colts defense. And so we're like, I'm not really sure about the Patriots defense fully taking shape quite yet. Patriots should be better later in the season. So Dolphins at home. They cover whatever the 1 point. They're good.
I don't like the spoiled picks, but I saw someone in there saying I had the Chargers losing. I don't have the Chargers losing. I have the Chargers winning. That's my lock of the week.
But somebody was talking about your thumbnail. Maybe your thumbnail looks like maybe you took the Raiders. I don't know.
Oh yeah, that's how I get you guys to watch the video. The Raiders fans
I haven't seen the thumbnail.
Only. So I get the Raiders fans to watch the video.
But anyways,
it's not that.
I'm thinking the New England Patriots. I don't think the Patriots are that bad. I thought the Patriots have some learning to do, and it's week 1. Miami, no. Tua. Somebody said that it looked like Tua. Look, my camera's now messing up because Tony wanted to bring it up. But Tua had, I think they're talking about Tua probably had another concussion that nobody brought him out of the game again. If you look at some of the hits he took, but I think the Patriots are able to fix some of their stuff, get the running game going. Patriots beat Miami this week.
You see, I have Miami written down as my pick. There's no logic. I wrote down at the top of it all that there's no logic here in this pick. But what I'm thinking is that Mike McDaniel seems like the type of coach to just be like, you know what, Tyreek, you want to complain? Here you go. Here's 15 targets. Let's just raise his draft stock as high as we can. And then can A-Chain get loose against the Patriots defense the way Genty couldn't on the edges? I'm picking Miami as of right now, but if Christian Gonzalez ends up being cleared and gets in there, and like you're saying, Tony, if a windstorm hits, I might switch my pick.
A windstorm would be the worst thing for Tua, but I'm talking about
if anything hits that's gonna not allow Tua to throw the ball straight in the air and pray, then
it should be one of those games where it's humid. They have that advantage because they put the away team on that side where they're just getting blasted by the sun for the whole game. It's let's
go Dolphins. Let's go Dolphins. Let's go Dolphins. We're going Dolphins.
It was this way.
I'll
go Dolphins.
Another one that I think will be interesting is the Jacksonville Jaguars on the road in Cincinnati, and the Cincinnati offense. They gotta show up. You guys are the highest paid offense in the history of the freaking NFL. We need more than 17 points every week. The Bengals should be 0-1 right now. And until they show up, I do think Jamar Chase, similar effect to Tyreek Hill, where it's just like, all right, well, they stopped me last week and I'm just pissed and they cannot stop me this week. And I think that could happen. I'm taking Cincinnati in a really high scoring, fun game, but I don't have a ton of confidence until I see the Bengals offense light it up the way we expect them to light it up week after week after week, because the Jaguars will score in this game 20 plus points. I can guarantee you that.
Yeah, I think so too. I'm going to take the Bengals at home in what should be, like a fantasy buffet. Like everybody should just get to eat as much as they possibly want. We get to see Travis Hunter first touchdown, some big plays to BTJ. Brenton Strange looked like a pretty good tight end last weekend. I'm going to take the Bengals at home in like 36-33. I don't think that the Bengals defense improved. I just think that they played the Cleveland Browns. That's where I'm at on that one. Your mic cut out again, Mike.
The Bengals or the Browns defense does play the Bengals historically well since they've gotten Burrow and gotten this offense together. They bring a good effort to the field, first of all, and they just have something on them. But Joe, Jaguars? This seems like a Joe pick here to go Jaguars.
No. Hey, Jaguars do love Travis Etienne, right? When you saw Tank Bigsby get traded yesterday. But I wasn't impressed fully with Jacksonville. I think they just played the Carolina Panthers. And like we talked about earlier in the show, they celebrated like it was their Super Bowl win. Come back. I really do. I was thinking about taking Jacksonville, but I'm not going to go against Joe Burrow and Jamar Chase against the Jacksonville defense right now. Like, not right now. I'm not going to buy into Jacksonville this early in the season.
We'll see what happens here. I think this could be a game that the Jaguars put the league on notice a little bit. We'll see. Next game, I had the 49ers and the Saints written down on my list here. I'm doing them in a certain order because this is the way I'm going to do the graphic too for me when I do the solo Pickems. But the 49ers on the road in New Orleans, and I'm telling you, I think that I would take the Niners even with Mac Jones. So I'm definitely taking them with Brock Purdy's status in question. I think if the Niners score 17 points, 14 points, their defense is going to just absolutely give Spencer Rattler and this Saints offense nightmares. And I'm just praying for Chris Olave, man. He got thrown into traffic again, by the way, in week 1. It's just like they don't want him to have a career at this point.
Trade him somewhere fun, anywhere but the Chiefs. We got enough receivers now, Mike. And
not with you. I'm saying
check that mic again. I'll take the 49ers. Cut out again, Mike. I don't know what's happening. I'll take the 49ers on the road, whether it's with Mac Jones or, whoever else they could possibly have practice squad, who they could sneak in there. If Brock Purdy can't go, if Brock Purdy goes, definitely, and cover whatever that is there. You said something about Alvin Kamara earlier. He feels like another trade type, Chiefs reach out and they say, hey, we need this. Like Alvin Kamara doesn't.
I'll trade into this.
I don't want them to trade for anybody good. I'm just going around and looking at some of these teams that I don't think are very good, that still have good players on them. Like Cam Jordan's going to finish up like a Hall of Fame career playing on a team that's 3-14.
Joe, you got Niners?
I got the Niners winning that one too. Come on, we talked about it. Did the Saints play better than I thought they did against Arizona, or thought they would? Yes, but no.
Really, to me, it was Arizona let their foot off the gas pedal. I expect them to do that. The Saints defense played better than I thought they would, I think. Maybe I would say that.
That's your boy Brandon Staley right there.
Yeah, I guess that's what I would say. This is an interesting one, too, when you look at an 11-point spread, the Browns going into Baltimore, and just they play AFC North opponents well. That's the only teams the Browns play well all year, it seems like, year after year after year. I think 11 points is a lot. The Ravens do look pretty unstoppable, but if anyone is going to slow them down, it's going to be like a Myles Garrett-led rush at Derrick Henry when Derrick Henry's getting the ball. I do think the Ravens win by 10, but not 11. So I'm going to take the Browns to cover if that spread holds.
I'm going to take the Ravens to win by about 24 to 27 points. Couple of pick sixes in this game. I think the Ravens, I think they play angry and with they have to be so fired up after how that game went on Monday night that he's just like, we're not even going to punt in this game, guys. Like they tell the punter, you can just take the day off, go shopping, have brunch, do whatever you got to do. Cause we're going to run the score up to 55 points in this game. They have to be so angry that's there. And defensively, they also had some letdowns. Offensively, I just don't see how they're going to be stopped in this. Lamar Jackson just continues to seem to raise his game each and every year, in whether that's from the pocket or still being able to run. So I take the Ravens. I know it's kind of disrespectful to the Browns, but I just don't see it.
You're going to do that in a Joe Flacco revenge game? You're just going to say no?
It's in Baltimore. It's going to be the first home game, and Derrick Henry looks unstoppable. Lamar Jackson unstoppable. Zay Flowers unstoppable. Would like to see Mark Andrews be a little bit more involved, but it just feels like they have a lot of options in the passing game, which they haven't had in the past. I think Rashad Bateman's a good player. So, and the LeJohntay Wester, like at some point, I think he could be a good player for them. They have Devontae Walker. Like, they got options in the passing game, and then defensively, they should just be better. And I think that they will.
All I liked from the Browns last week is that I got to see my boy Raheem Sanders play some big football and score his first touchdown. So that was cool.
You just trying
to take shots like that. Like, you are way too in tune with the Chargers, Joe. You're lucky I'm running out of time, or I would go on a whole rant about this.
I'm just saying Sanders was one of my favorite running backs coming out of the draft. I wasn't saying anything about the Chargers.
I will have Joe's back on this. In the pre-draft process, Joe said Raheem Sanders is one of my favorite running backs in this class, and then he ended up on the Chargers, and they cut him.
If you don't show me the clips, if you don't show me the recordings and the text messages, I don't believe it. He just wants the whole Chargers team to be the Raiders. If they could just throw on the Raiders uniforms, he would be extremely happy. If they just traded teams, team for team.
Why would I want that? I like Super Bowl trophies, and Chargers don't have shit.
Yeah. You're a big Justin Herbert hater. You never ever believed in Herbert ever in your life.
Anyways, I'm picking the Ravens to win this game.
I forgot that you haven't even picked yet. We got to go kind of quick here in these next ones. It's kind of a shame because this game is really hard to call for me. The Bears have a lot of work to do, a lot to improve on. The Lions at home are 5-point favorites, have a lot to improve, a lot to work on. Like we were saying, their offense did not look the same at all. Their defense was okay against the Packers. It wasn't terrible, but they gave up a bunch of big plays. Josh Jacobs was running the ball down their throat. And then on the Bears side of things, Caleb Williams looked like a damn rookie in his first game. It looked like it was his first game, not J.J. McCarthy's first game. I can't bet on the Bears to win this, but it's really hard to pick. I'm going with the Lions. Tony, what do you got?
I got the Lions too. I think that it's going to get pretty noisy for Caleb Williams, and they gave Taysom Bagent that backup contract. It's like, come on, guys, let's all give Caleb Williams at least like Thanksgiving to figure out whether or not this is going to work. I still believe he's a tremendous player.
Yeah, and we are dealing with the sneaky wild card that Ben Johnson knows the Lions like the back of his fucking hand. So he's going to have some tricks probably up his sleeve. Joe?
Yeah, and I mean, there was they were looking good at the beginning of the game yesterday, and you were like, oh, damn, the Bears are going to be good. But really, they fell apart at the end. I'm going with Detroit in this game.
Same. Denver on the road in Indy. The Colts right now are underdogs by 1.5. Like I said, I think the Titans should have won that game last week. A few mistakes here, a few mistakes there, and the Colts are clicking on all cylinders. And Daniel Jones plays like that again. The Colts are a lifted version of the Titans. They're like the Titans monster truck version. I am going with the Indianapolis Colts to win as home underdogs for my underdog upset pick of the week, back-to-back weeks on the Broncos.
I'm going with the Colts too. It's like I started off by talking about like how impressed I was with Daniel Jones at the beginning, and I think that they can find a way to win a close football game here and win 26-24, something like that. Jonathan Taylor looked good last week, and Ty Warren looks like a real player, Michael Pittman, and we didn't even get to see Josh Downs getting involved in the game. So I just think that the Colts have a lot going for them. And then Bo Nix was quite shaky offensively for them. So I can see maybe relatively low scoring, maybe 26-24 was a little high, but I'm going to take the Colts.
At the end of the day, it's Daniel Jones still, right? It's Daniel Jones, and they played the Miami Dolphins. I'm taking the Denver Broncos in this week matchup. It's that simple. Like, I have a brain, so I'll go with the Denver Broncos.
Come on, Danny Dimes. One more week, brother.
Keeping it simple, moving on to the next game. Panthers on the road in Arizona. While the Cardinals worry me a little bit that they got to cover 6.5 points, and they kind of let the Saints sneak back into that one in the back door in the garbage time. On the other side of things, like Tedero McMillan looked like, he showed some flashes. There's some promise there. There's the one-handed interception by J.C. Horn that prevented this from being 33 to whatever Jaguars over Panthers, which was just an insane play that only like 1 of 10 corners in the league can even possibly have a chance at making. I think Marv and McBride feast again on the Panthers, and the Cardinals win this easily. Go ahead, Tony.
I mean, I really want to pick Bryce Young in this game, but I probably won't. I think this could be a nice game for James Conner too, where they get him going, and yeah, Trey McBride, big game for him. So I'll take the Cardinals at home, but I just want to see Bryce Young play good football like he did at the end of the year. Yeah, because I think he's a good quarterback. I just don't understand what I watched this weekend. But it did hurt that they let go of Adam Thielen. You can't trade away a veteran for a rookie like that. You need somebody that's going to give you some easy, reliable play at wide receiver. And they're just so young at wide receiver.
Yeah, you need to bench Bryce Young again, and then he'll get it back, and then
the same thing as last year.
Yeah. I'm going with the Arizona Cardinals this week. Good matchup. Good. But like you said, I something about me wants to root for the Carolina Panthers, and I want to see the Panthers turn around. I like some of the young guys there, but I just can't. It's just not there.
No, I'm with you guys. I like Chuba Hubbard. I like Tedero McMillan. I understand that the damage has been done. It's time to rip off the Band-Aid. They're delaying the inevitable. Every year they keep throwing Bryce Young out there. It's like watching a child play quarterback. He's struggling to find the answers to the test, and he just starts guessing. It's not a good result.
Let's rapid fire these, Mike. Come on.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Chiefs, Eagles. I think the Chargers could have ran the ball even more on the Chiefs, like I was saying earlier, and kind of game planned into the heavy passing that they did. And I think the Eagles are going to be the team that runs the ball more and tires the Chiefs out and gets them frustrated on the edges. They were struggling to figure out what to do when we were starting to press them with Herbert's mobility. Let's see Jalen Hurts and Saquon backfield together and running it. So I'm going with the Eagles to win and almost to pick them. The Chiefs are actually 1-point home underdog right now.
Yep. I'm going to take the Chiefs at home, even with or without Jalen Carter.
I'll take the Eagles in this game.
I'm rooting for the Eagles. Don't get me wrong.
There we go. We got a little difference there. And then Atlanta at Minnesota on Sunday Night Football. I think this is setting up to potentially be a great game. Michael Penix didn't look bad in his first game. He wasn't just absolutely lethal either, but he was good. And I think that he can improve a little bit and have an even better game. But that's if Drake London can play in this game. And that's what's got me leaning Vikings. If Drake London is hurt and playing as a decoy, or if Drake London is out for this game, the Vikings defense is coming for Bijan and coming for Penix, and that's what they're going to be focused on stopping.
Stop it, Joe.
Hey, I got Bijan in fantasy. Everyone's going to be coming for Bijan.
Oh, my gosh. I will.
Coming.
Yeah.
I will take the Vikings to build on the fourth quarter success. Vikings at home. That place gets super loud and crazy.
And I'm taking the Vikings too. I think they finally I think it took them a while to let JJ McCarthy open up, but once they saw what he could do in the second half, Vikings should be okay the rest of the year.
It shakes us to Monday Night Football, where the Texans are taking on the Bucks in the first of the doubleheader that we have at Monday Night Football. The Texans right now are 2.5-point favorites. I don't know. The Texans O-line was not good. I know you're playing maybe the best D-line in football, one of the best D-lines in football right now. And then the receivers, they were getting open at times, but it wasn't consistent like we've seen when he's had his full slate of receivers in recent years. And then C.J. Stroud honestly wasn't amazing in the game either. I don't know what the Vegas odds are thinking here. I guess the Texans are at home. It is a primetime game, but I'm going to take the Bucks to actually win this one by more than a touchdown.
I haven't given this game a ton of thought, but I'm going to go Texans at home. The defense, just figure it out. Figure out the offensive line. I'm so frustrated watching the Texans offense.
It could be a really good team still. Joe?
I'm taking the Buccaneers in this game. Yeah. I'm trying to go fast, so we got to go.
Let's go. Then the Chargers, Raiders. I got the Chargers, unbiased pick, Tony.
Of course you do.
Yeah, Chargers, pass game too much, run game too much, special teams too much. Chargers win.
You know how I am with score predictions, Joe. I got Chargers 27-7. So.
Yeah, you're really good at that. Last time you gave a good score prediction, it was like 53 or 62 to whatever it was. I'll take the Raiders in this win on Monday night in Allegiant Stadium.
There it is. That's our picks. Appreciate everyone for tuning in. Sorry we have to rush out of here. I actually have to go. I'm 1 minute late to a meeting with NFL Network for a Thursday Night Football broadcast. So maybe I should go to that.
Yeah, what are you doing?
Everyone liked the video. They're waiting for me here. I'm the superstar. They're not the superstars. But anyways, everyone liked the video. Comment below, and I will see you guys next week. We'll be back here at Tuesday at 10:30 a.m. What's going to happen this week around the NFL? I guess sooner or later, the ball definitely won't lie.